Inevitably, during your interview, you're going to talk about rates. You have to. You're a business, they're a business. Everybody needs to be aligned on the rates that you are charging. If you present your rates and a client says, ooh, that's really too high, or oh, I don't think I can actually pay you that much money per month, I want you to do something. I don't want you to lower your rate. Far too many virtual assistants come up against clients who say like, oh, that's a little out of my budget. And what they'll do is they'll lower their rates. So you might be thinking, well, sure, if a client can't afford my services, I will knock it down $10. I'll come down to 20 an hour. What you're doing is shooting yourself in the foot because you are going to be working just as hard, just as many hours, but you're making less money. That's a no-no. What I suggest that you do instead is you amend your scope of work. Instead of slashing your hourly rate, what you can do to the client is say, okay, I understand that you have a budget to work within. What we can do is at my rate, I can work fewer hours for you, or we can amend the scope of services. So you might be thinking, what does this look like in real life? I had a client who asked me to do their social media management on Twitter. What they had asked me for was 3 posts a day, meaning I created content for 3 tweets per day. They wanted me to engage with people throughout the day, answer their questions on Twitter. They wanted me to grow a strong community following, and they wanted me to look into ad spend so I could create ads and figure out the money and the placement, etc., etc. The rate that they offered me was much lower than I would have offered. So what I did, because this was a company I wanted to work for, what I did was instead of agreeing to their terms, I amended the scope. So I came back to them and said, okay, at the rate you are offering me, I will do 1 post per day, 1 tweet per day. I will engage with the community in the morning, and I will do the ad spend as needed. But what I did was I winnowed down how much time I was spending. I posted less frequently, meaning I had to spend less time creating content, and I spended much less time engaging with the community. If I were to engage all day long, that's a full-time job. But if I were to limit myself to 1 hour per day of reading tweets, finding people interested in this product, engaging with people who asked us questions, answering DMs, all of these things were great. And they did grow, albeit slower than they wanted to. But the fact that I was able to amend my scope of work so that I still got paid fairly for the amount of work I was doing, they still had community growth and felt supported, and nobody had to go out of budget or lower rates. It was a win-win for everyone. So this is all to say that if you are talking with a client who you like, you want to work with, you're really jazzed about it, but they can't quite meet you at your rate, I don't want you to lower your rate. I want you to amend the amount of work that you're doing for them so that it is still a fair trade.